In the description box will be two links. One will be to a video done by Sean James, and the other one will be the link to Bgs Ibmor's discussion with Angry Man where the conflict took place a few days ago. Angry Man comes on the panel at exactly the 1 hour, 1 minute, 20-second mark.
The
You
state.
cannot violate your
Valdez, if you're gonna scream, I'm gonna go to bed.
then go to bed, nigga. You're not gonna tell me some shit that I know. Don't give a fuck if this is your channel. I'm a man like you a man. Fuck is wrong with you? This the same shit as last time.
The timestamp is for the ones who want to get straight to the bedlam that took place, which was entertaining. It was entertaining, but this was one of the times where the shenanigans didn't steal the show, in my opinion. This is one of the times where the tomfoolery takes a backseat, because the discussion BGS was having with folks before all that was more interesting. I like train wrecks. I'm often entertained by train wrecks, but sometimes they're an interruption, and this was one of those times. But BGS was talking to a dude named John Henrik, and it reminded me of a few different things. And one of the things was this knucklehead about 2 weeks ago that went crazy on my primary channel over there, typing crazy about conspiracy theories. This person went to about maybe I think about 9 different videos going off about a bunch of different stuff. And I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that maybe some other time. But when BGS was talking to Henrik, BGS's response. It reminded me of what I said to Sean James about a year and a half ago. But I'll get back to BGS and Henrik later. But I'll put a comment on the video Sean did, and I'll read his response to my comment. Then I'll play a bit of what he was saying in the video. After that, I'll read what I posted. He said to me, "If you get rid of the people, you get rid of your profits. Those people the rich have so much contempt for are the very reason why they are wealthy. If the poor people didn't buy their crap, rich folks would be eating clay."
Many of the bean counters in corporate America believe that automating certain jobs will allow their companies to run more efficiently and more cost-effective. However, when you take a critical examination of automation, you see that it has some long-term damage to the overall American economy. For example, in some retail establishments, like your Targets and your Walmarts, they don't want to pay workers a minimum of $15 an hour as mandated by many states, so they have brought in automated checkouts so that they don't have to pay as many employees to run as many register lanes. And what these bean counters don't see about the big picture of automation is, yes, it is more efficient, and yes, it is more cost effective, but it also hurts our economy, because when you ask a critical question after you've replaced all of those workers, you have to ask the critical question, who is going to buy all of those products that these companies sell if you have replaced all of the workers with robots and computer kiosks? Because it's people who go out and take the wages they earn from a job to go out here and buy the products from most of these companies. It's because robots don't buy product. Computer kiosks don't buy product. And this overall does damage to the American economy, because if you do not have people to go out and consume in a consumer-based economy, then that consumer-based economy is going to collapse. Now, when I think of automation gone wrong, I think of an episode of The Twilight Zone that was made many years ago. Now, in this episode of The Twilight Zone, this man championed replacing all of the people with robots in the 1950s, and he thought it was going to be so great that, we have all of this great automation, we have all of these robots doing all of our work, and soon the time came for him to be replaced, and when he got replaced, that's when he started to get angry and upset.
Now, Sean was talking about the 1964 episode of The Twilight Zone called The Brain Center at Mr. Whipple's. Mr. Whipples is the name of the company's exec who came up with the idea to replace people with machines. And at the end of the episode, he bumped into somebody that used to work at the place named Hanley. Whipple was about to replace Hanley with a machine, but Hanley quit first. But when Whipple bumped into Hanley, it was in a bar, and Whipple told Hanley that the company replaced him with the machine too, and he was pissed off about that. Sad even.
I realized they'd moved me out of there. It's not right, Hanley. It's not right. Cold, dispassionate, impersonal. They chuck a man out right in his prime. Chuck him out like he was some kind of a part.
Here's my response I put on Sean's comment board. I said, the only point I disagree with you on is you believing that these companies don't understand what they're doing. They fully understand, but they don't plan on so many of us being here in the future. They plan on getting rid of us, Sean, just like in the Twilight Zone episode you referenced. Right, that's what I said. And I already read Sean's reply with the Clay reference and stuff. Now, the people who be saying, oh, that's just them conspiracy theories. To me, it sounds like it's hard for them to imagine a world that can still operate without themselves in it. They sound like people who are only able to assess a threat until after something has already happened. But I want to play part of a conversation with BGS and Henrik. Now, BGS is not a disbeliever in the New World Order, globalist, elite 1% stuff, which is why I couldn't understand why he didn't understand what Henrik was telling him. It's similar to what happened. It's similar to what happened on G-Man's panel about 3 months ago, and I'll talk about that some other time. Maybe on my primary channel and at a different angle. But here's what I'm talking about.
I'm tired, man.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been up all day too. Don't give me the bullshit.
Me too.
No, man. Hey. I've been doing this a long time. I know bullshit when I smell it. You can take your L and be satisfied with it. Anybody else want to come up? You get back, jump in a second. I'm walking him through his logic because he's never thought about it.
I have thought about it. I mean,
no, you have. If you thought about it, you'd be able to give me an answer. You haven't thought about this.
It might be up to half the population.
Oh, 50%. How many people is that?
That's roughly like 175 million.
No, I'm for globally. We're not talking about local. Because you're not talking about the local United States. You talk about globalists are not basically concentrated on one country, are they?
Globally, that could be about 3.7, 3.8 billion people.
Oh, really? So if you do nothing, you get 4 billion people dead. Mm-hmm. You want to live with that?
Listen. Aren't they saying that?
Are you, sir, willing to live with that? If
it was me, no.
Okay, so what would you do?
I would try to transition.
Really? To what?
To the new system.
To the new system. What is the new system, sir?
It would be probably like the UBI, along with the new digital system.
So basically, the globalists are not trying to kill you, are they?
Yes.
They are. How?
The reason why I say that is because they've already said that the population needs to be greatly reduced.
Okay, so
around 2 billion.
So why don't you let everything crash and have 4 billion or 5 billion people die?
It may happen.
Why don't you just let it crash?
It may happen.
Why don't you just let it crash?
I don't make those decisions.
In other words, and why would you try to transition to a new system and trying to get rid of people?
I said I would. You asked me what I would do, sir.
So in other words, are they not trying to transition us to you have something against them trying to transition us to a new system?
I don't, but I don't know if they're
No. You just said it. The globalists are trying COVID-19 and what's going on is them trying to transition us to a new system with the UBI and digital money, right? Didn't you just say that?
I did say that. You're right. Yeah, I did. I've been working a lot.
Nah, man, don't give me that bullshit.
I'm tired, man.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been up all day too. Don't give me that bullshit.
He's asking Henrik, why would they want to get rid of people? When the answer should be obvious to him. Because we know of companies getting rid of people for the sake of profit and efficiency. We know this, but it's like people deliberately refuse to know what they already know. Me, I won't refuse to know that a You know, that a farmer will put 400 pigs to sleep just to run more efficiently. The cotton gin put a bunch of people out of work, and not just slaves who were forced to work. And how many examples could I cite where people were deemed to be parasites and useless eaters, then targeted for extermination? The Geneva Protocol in the 1920s outlawed the use of biological weapons. And that had to be raised as an issue, not as a preemptive measure, but because people had already been deploying biological weapons on people. Historical until this day references I could give, but it's just them conspiracy theories. And, but I do understand that people are crazy in the conspiracy crowd who go, they go way too far a lot of times. But the conspiracy theory tag is too often used as a ad hominem attack. So, yeah, I just, I spent all this time just to get to that point.
They just snap their fingers and they bring in a replacement. They just bring in a replacement. It isn't fair, Hanley.
As you sow, so shall ye reap. The point is that too often man becomes clever instead of becoming wise. He becomes inventive but not thoughtful. And sometimes, as in the case of Mr. Whipple, he can create himself right out of existence.